Time flies when you're having fun, or so they say, but when you work in education, time flies full stop. Lucky for you, Teachers TV kindly presents Nick Packard, Joe Parry and Jane Dixon, our time-saving team.
You've not got to enter them into your mark book, and actually that's going to take you another 10 minutes to do as you go about your mark book trying to find the names in alphabetical order. Well, here is my tip. You have every child in your class with a number, so that every piece of work that they submit, they put their name and their number on, okay? When you've done that, it means that when I ask you to collect in all the pieces of work, you can put them in numerical order really, really quickly. And immediately I know, number 18, you've not handed your piece of work in. Fantastic. Then you've marked them all, feeling really good, glass of wine, watching EastEnders, life is good. Oh no, I've got that 10-minute job of putting them all into the mark book. It's easy. You've got them 1 to 30, and it takes you about 30 seconds. Pour yourself another glass of wine. What about those groups? Okay, I'm not working with him, we don't get on well together. So it doesn't look as if you've orchestrated the groups. What you do is you get your bag out for 8H or whatever they like, and I want them in groups of 3. I pick them out, put them in 3s. I'm doing it in a very random fashion. It looks really honest to children, and we know they all like that. Question and answer sessions. Have you got that child in your class who has their hand up constantly? And you think at the end of the lesson, it's basically been a one-on-one. Well, get rid of hands in your classroom by using your numbers. That means the very quiet child, or the child who doesn't want to listen, knows that at some point they're going to be asked a question. It also means that pick me at the front is actually not going to monopolise your lesson. Now, if you're teaching a mixed ability class and you're using your numbers in a question and answer session, pick out the number and then devise your question so that it is accessible to the child you are asking. So using numbers, not in place of names, but just to save you some time and a little bit of angst, I think would be something that you could use in your classrooms. Do you spend an extraordinary amount of time chasing students for late pieces of work? Well, what about this as a time-saving tip? Issue late work passes, 1 at the beginning of each term. If they then want to submit a piece of late work, they do it with a late work pass, no questions asked. Then, if they don't use them over the year, 3 late work passes and there's a reward, maybe a home close day, or chocolate, or whatever your students like.
Visit teachers.tv/timesavers for useful advice on implementing Joe's tips.
Have you ever felt like a parrot in your own classroom where constantly you are giving out the same instructions time and time again? All children need to learn how to do certain jobs, and I think the instructions will be different dependent on your subject specialism. For example, I'm a chemist and therefore practical tasks are very important to me, and I need my students to be able to perform safely practical tasks. So what I suggest you do is really have a good look at your teaching, and over a few weeks audit those instructions that you use regularly. So, for example, how to set out a piece of work. If I've heard myself say underline the title and put the date on the right hand side once, I must have heard it a million times. If I'm bored with it, they're certainly bored with it. So once I've said it a couple of times at the start of the year, then I have a transparency, or actually now I'm getting more IT literate. I have a PowerPoint of regular jobs and I flick up the side that's got how to start a piece of work. That means every single child in the class knows what I want them to do. So, depending on what you teach, you will know what's pertinent to you. For example, if you want to do starting work, setting up a practical, how to clear things up, what you should have achieved from your lesson. Those sort of things, get them in mind, hear yourself saying them, and instead of taping yourself, give instruction sheets. Then, this is double-edged. That child who asks for the third time, "What did you say we had to do, miss, sir?" You can now go,